this morning. Let's come to standing. So feet hip distance. Let me just check I've muted this. Yeah, we're all good. Okay, so let's bring feet hip distance. So really feeling into the bottoms of your feet, and then just bring the palms facing up. So bending at the elbows. Take the elbows in towards the waist. And then either closing your eyes or just take your gaze towards the floor. And just start to come to stillness. So it might be that you take a few little movements, some rocking, a few little jiggles. So just feel into that. And then just start to feel into your body. So start with your feet pressing into the ground. Really noticing the skin touching the mat. And then bringing your focus up the legs. So feel into your legs, the muscles in your legs. Just noticing how they feel in this moment. So really noticing, come up to the knees, up through the thighs. Bringing that focus into your pelvis. So that whole area of the pelvis. And just notice any holding of muscles, any gripping sensations. Just see if you can release that, and don't worry if you can't. Just feel into it, notice it. And then bringing the focus up through the body, through the belly, the rib cage. Just notice your breath. You don't need to change anything. Just noticing how you're breathing. And it might be just noticing the breath. You take a deeper breath. And then bring the focus up to the shoulders. See if you can let the shoulders release slightly. Let them relax down. And then bringing that focus down through the arms. Just bringing awareness to the skin. Maybe the energy in the arms. And then bringing your focus to your palms. So really feeling into the skin of the palms, maybe the slight breeze, just passing across the skin. And just see if you can keep your focus there. So notice any thoughts, anything that takes your attention. And each time, just gently bring your focus back. And it doesn't matter if you drift off, just notice what those thoughts are, what those things are that are taking your focus. Just acknowledge them, and then gently bring the focus back to the palms. We're just taking a moment here, keeping as still as you can, and just really getting a picture of how your whole body feels this morning. Just feeling into it, noticing your energy levels, any thoughts that are coming up, just so that you can match your practice to how you're feeling. So looking after yourself this morning, look after your body. It's taking the variations that suit this moment. And just taking extra care if you're working with any injuries. So let's come to the breath. Let's start to take slower, deeper breaths. So feel that air coming all the way down, lungs, expanding the rib cage, coming into the belly. And then allowing it to release out. So letting it go on your exhale. So slow, deep breath. Really fill up. So make it as slow as you can. And that might mean that slight restriction in the throat muscles, just to allow the air to move more slowly in and out. So like you would for Ujjayi breath, that slight restriction, you can hear a sound as you breathe. And just following where that breath is going. So with the next exhale, let's release the hands down. We'll bring chin to chest. And let's take some circles with the head. So you don't have to drop the head all the way back. Just notice how it feels on the back of your neck. And if you prefer, take semicircles. So chin to chest and then ear to the shoulder on each side. So feeling into your neck. Might be small circles, it might be a bit bigger. So going one direction and then the other. Feel into it all. You might get some crunching sensations, some clicking. There's all sorts going on in my neck this morning. And then let's come back to center. And let's reach the right arm away. So reaching through the fingertips, we're going to take the left ear to the left shoulder. So we're reaching away. Let's take the left hand up to the side, that right side of the neck and the shoulder. And just gently squeeze, just really gently feel into those muscles. It might be the side of the neck. So just really feel the skin on the palm, just making that contact. And just gently squeeze any areas. It might be further into the upper back. Anything that might feel tender. So keep breathing, and then let's come back to center, and we'll take it to the other side. So reaching left hand away, right shoulder comes over to the right ear. No, it doesn't. The right ear comes over to the right shoulder. I've got my body parts mixed up. So then taking this right hand over to the left shoulder, left side of the neck. And just feeling into it, just gently squeezing. It might be that you just draw the hand forward, just helping to loosen that muscle. So just exploring, see how it feels, find that area. Might be tender, it might not. So breathing into it. And then let's come back to center. We're going to bring chin to chest, and we're going to take circles in the upper back. So let the arms be heavy. And taking circles, see if you can bring it into the upper back. Might feel awkward. So going in one direction and then the other. So you can bend your knees if you need to here. So try not to bring it into your lower back at all. You're really trying to bring it into that upper back section. And then let's take hands to the hips, bring the feet slightly wider, and we'll take circles with the hips. So again, you might bend your knees. So just feeling into your hips. Might be big circles, it might be teeny tiny circles. Just feel into what's going on. Let's change direction. Keep breathing. So those slow, deep breaths coming in and out. And then let's bring the feet to the floor again. So bring them to hip distance, sorry. And then we're going to roll around the feet. So circling the knees and rolling around the feet. So coming onto the toes, the right side, the heels, the left side. So circling, you can always keep your hands on your hips if you want to here. So just really feel into it rather than, I worry about how it looks this, I'm sure it looks really strange, but just feeling into that sensation, trying to feel into the bottoms of the feet. The toes, the sides, let's go in the other direction. And it might be that the hips start to move as well. Okay, feeling into it, feel into the knee joints as they move. Let's come back to center. Let's reach the arms up. And let's exhale to fold forward. So hinge at the hips as you fold, coming all the way down. Let's inhale to halfway lift. So bring hands to the shins and really lengthen through the spine. Crown of the head is coming forward. Exhale to release. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, rise up. So hands to the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, release it down. And let's take a twist. So we'll keep the right hand down and lift the left hand up. So bend into the knees here. It might be that you start to straighten that left leg. So you can look up to the hand or take the gaze to the floor. Keep breathing here. And let's change sides. So pressing the hand into the floor. Maybe bending into that left knee. Big deep breath. Release it down. And let's step back to tabletop. So bringing the knees down, spreading the fingers. So wrists are under shoulders, knees are under hips. Let's take some cat cows. So inhale to lift the head, lift the sit bones, belly pulls down. And then exhale to round through the spine, head comes down, tuck the tailbone. So you're really rounding in the upper back. Press down into the hands. Inhale, rise up. And then exhale, curl round. So really focusing in on your spine. Let your head be heavy. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, take it down. Let your head be heavy, rounding through the upper back. Let's come back to center. And we're going to take the hands wide. So I'm going to turn to face you so you can see. So the fingertips are going to face away and we're going to bend into the elbows. So hands are off your mat each side. So we're going to bend into the elbows and just gently start to rock side to begin with. So it might be that you lift the fingertips as you rock and just being gentle. So feeling into that stretch on the forearm. Let the shoulder gently drop down. So really focus in on it. Don't take it any further than you need to. Just a gentle stretch. And then if you can, start to go in circles. So lifting up, rounding through the upper back as you come up. So you're bending into one elbow, going across, lifting up. So breathing as you move. And then change directions. Let's come back to center. We'll take the hands back under the shoulders. So fingertips facing forward again. And let's come into a balance. So we're going to take the right hand forward, the left foot back. So lifting the toes or keeping them down if that feels better, if you feel particularly wobbly this morning. So reaching fingertips and toes away, pressing down into the hand, and then exhale, elbow to knee. So rounding through the spine, inhale, lift. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lift up. One more time, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale to reach away, and then release it down. We'll take it to the other side. So left hand reaches forward, right foot back. So lift the toes. Really reaching away, so feel that length you're creating from fingertips to toes. And then exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, rise. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lift up. One more time, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale to lift, and then release back down. Release the knee back down. And let's come into thread the needle. So we're going to inhale the right hand to the sky, and then exhale to thread it through underneath the left arm. Shoulder and side of the head comes down. So just let chin tuck into chest. Take a couple of breaths. And then take any variations you want to here. So you might walk the fingertips over the head, lift the elbow, just taking you slightly deeper into that twist. You might lift the arm up and over. So just feel into it. Send that breath into the left side. So really feel that left side of the rib cage expanding. It might be that you have a play with straightening the left leg, bringing the toes towards those right fingertips. So have a play, have an explore. Breathe into it wherever you are. Let's take one more big deep breath. And then slowly coming back up, unraveling. Let's take it over to the other side. So left hand lifts. And with the exhale, send it through underneath the right arm. Shoulder, side of the head comes down. Chin tuck into chest. Take a breath, so start to feel that breath in the right side. And then take any variation. So again, you might walk fingertips over, elbow lifts. That might take you deep enough. You might lift the arm up and over. You can always come back if you feel like you've gone too far. So feel into it. You might take those right toes towards the left hand this time. So take a couple of slow, deep breaths here. Just breathing into the upper back, into that left side. Sorry, into that right side. And then with the next inhale, let's lift back up. Let's take a cat-cow to reset. So inhale, lifting head, lifting sit bones, belly pulls down. And then exhale to round. Let the head be heavy. Tucking the tailbone, let's come back to center. And let's come into plank. So we're going to press down into the hands, straighten the legs. So keep on the tiptoes. You can release the knees down at any point here. So have a little rock forwards and backwards, pushing the heels away. So feeling into the muscles in the backs of the legs. And then we're going to tuck chin into chest. And we're just going to gently tap the floor with the knees. So stay with the breath, keep breathing here. Keep the chin tucked into the chest. Just feeling into those abdominals working. So gently bringing knees down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's lift to a downward facing dog. So press into the feet, lifting sit bones to the sky. And take any movements here you want to. So you might walk out the legs. You might be rocking the hips gently side to side. You might be completely still. So finding your version of down dog. Breathing into it, let your head be heavy. And then let's roll forward. So come up onto the tiptoes, rolling forward, round through the upper back. And let's lower down. So knees, untuck the toes, slowly come down all the way to the floor. We're going to warm up the back. So on the next inhale, gently lifting. So lifting head, lifting shoulders off the floor, maybe hovering the hands. So really using those back muscles to lift you. So press the tops of the feet into the ground. Shoulders are away from the ears. And then releasing down, exhale. Let's lift again. So pressing the hands gently into the mat this time. Lifting, feeling into your lower back. So you might be really close to the floor and that's totally fine. Just feeling into it. And let's look over the right shoulder. Gentle twist, looking over the left shoulder. Just breathing into it. Let's come back down. Lift back to downward facing dog. So you might come through child's pose, you might come back through your plank. And then let's tiptoe towards the hands and come into ragdoll. So bending the knees as much as you need to. Take hands to the elbows and let your head and your shoulders be really heavy. So really let your head go. Let your neck relax. Have a sway. Take a couple of big deep breaths. And then let's press down into the feet and roll up through the spine. So rolling up, let's reach the arms to the sky. And let's come into our sun salutation. So exhale to fold forward. So you're hinging from the hips as you fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back. High to low plank. So knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big deep breath in here. And with the exhale, looking forward, step or jump, feet between the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, lifting the toes as you rise. Reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back. High to low. So knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big deep breath in. With the exhale, looking forward, step or jump, feet between hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, lifting the toes up as you rise. One more time, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back. High to low. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big deep breath in. With the exhale, looking forward, step or jump, feet between hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reaching high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to fold. So let's take hands to the floor, step the left leg back. Low lunge, back knee comes down, top of the back foot. Lifting arms to the sky. Let's press down into the feet, so really using those leg muscles, lifting up with the fingertips. And then let's take some arm circles, so reaching forward. Exhale, inhale to lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, rise up, keep pressing down into the feet. One more time, exhale, forward. Inhale, rise up. Let's release it down. So take hands to either side of the foot and we're going to take it back to a reverse runner's lunge. So gently bringing the sit bones towards the back heel. Tuck those back toes. And just feeling into it. Find it in your body. So feeling into that stretch, the back of the right leg. And it might be that you keep the knee bent. Just feeling into it. You might walk the fingertips forward. You might start to lift up higher. So just find that place where it doesn't feel too strong. You can breathe into it. It should just be a gentle stretch. One more breath here. Let's roll back, take hands to the floor and step it back. Downward facing dog. So walking out your dog. Take a big deep breath in. With the exhale, step the left foot forward. Low lunge, back knee comes down, top of the back foot, lifting high. So reach with the fingertips, press down into the feet. Feel those leg muscles engage. And then exhale to come forward. Inhale to lift. Exhale forward. Inhale, lift, press down into the feet. One more time, exhale forward. Inhale, rise up. Let's release the hands. Tuck the back toes. Send it back. So breathing into that, stretching the muscle on the back of the left leg this time. So just notice how it feels. Notice any differences on either side. Just finding that place where it feels enough. So you might flex the foot. Again, you might take a little bend in the knee. So gentle stretch. You might need to walk the fingertips forward to feel that stretch if you're particularly flexible. Or maybe lift up onto the fingertips. So breathing into it. Let's take one more deep breath here. Let's roll forward, hands to the floor. Let's step the back foot forward. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to fold. So let's take hands to the floor. Set the right leg back this time, low lunge. Back knee comes down, top of the back foot. We're going to lift up, reach fingertips to the sky. And then gently start to sink the hips towards the floor. So you might just come down a millimeter. Keep pressing down into the feet. Keep the muscles in the legs engaged. Gently releasing down. Take a big deep breath. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step it back. Downward facing dog. Take a big deep breath in. And with the exhale, step that right foot forward. Low lunge. Lifting up. Same here. Reaching fingertips to the sky. Press down into the feet. And then gently release the hips down. So really gently keep pressing down into the feet. The muscles are engaged in the legs. Gentle sink down. Big deep breath. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step the back foot forward. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to fold. Let's take hands to the floor and we'll step it back. Come back to tabletop, so knees come down. Let's bring the knees together and we'll take some circles with the right knee. So take some hip circles. So really feeling into exploring that right hip joint. It's going one direction and then the other. And then slide the foot back. So toes come off the mat behind you. Slide the foot over to the left side. So looking over the left shoulder towards that foot, that right foot. And then bring it up and round. So we're sliding the toes along the floor. Take it out to the side. And let's go back again. So slide the toes, looking over that left shoulder. And if you want to, you can lift the toes off. So lift it out to the side. One more time, slide it round. Keep the toes down if you need to here. Out to the side. And this time we're going to bring the foot up towards that right hand. So stepping it outside the right little finger. And let's have a rock into the hips. So rocking forwards and backwards. So you might lift the toes, lift the heel as you rock. And then really exploring that right hip joint. So take any movements you want to here. You might go in circles. You might stay with much smaller movements. Just seeing how many different directions that right hip joint can move in. Just exploring it. There's no right and wrong here. So just feel into all that movement, everything that's going on. Just noticing if the hips feel tight. You might release the forearms down. It might be just the left forearm. It might be both. So option to do that. You can always come back up if it feels too much. And then let's slide the foot back. So coming back to center, let's slide it back. Take it back in, and we'll do the same on the other side. So circles with that left knee. So circling, just feeling into that left hip joint this time. And again, the circles might be quite small. You might want to keep it small, really focus in. So go in one direction and then the other. And then let's slide the foot back, toes come off the mat. We'll take the toes over to the right side, so looking over the right shoulder, side stretch here, and then sliding them round. So come all the way round to the side, bringing them as high as feels comfortable, if that's the word. And then slide them all the way back round, take that circle. Looking over the right shoulder, bringing them round. This time you might lift the toes off the floor. See how that feels? This is the way I always get cramp. So take it back round, looking over that right shoulder. One more time, bring it up beside you. And then we're going to step it to the outside of that left hand, rocking into the hips. So gentle rocking, forwards and backwards to begin with, feeling into the bottom of the foot. So you might be spreading the toes out as you lift them up. You're just really exploring that left side. And it might feel really different to the other side. You might want to take smaller movements, bigger movements. And then taking any directions you want to go in. So it might be circles. Keep breathing as you move. Stay with that long, slow breath. So seeing how many different directions that hip joint can move in. Just exploring, just being curious of what's going on in there. And then let's slide it back. So taking it all the way back round, bring it back in. We're going to tuck the toes and take it back to downward facing dog. So taking any movements you want to here in your down dog. Feel free to take a child's pose at any point. And then bringing feet together, let's lift the right leg to the sky. We're going to exhale knee to nose. So rounding through the upper back. You can always bring that left knee down if you need to here. Inhale to lift. Exhale knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale across to the left elbow. So across the body, hug it in. Lifting with the inhale. Exhale to step it through. So between the hands. And then we're going to lift up, so press down into the feet, make sure feet are hip distance, reaching arms high. So fingertips are lifted, you can always release that back knee down at any point. Let's take hands to heart center, lengthen through the spine, inhale, exhale, twist to your right, so left elbow comes to the right knee. So with your inhale, lengthen through the spine, really create that space. With the exhale, gently twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to twist. One more time, inhale, lengthen, get really long. Exhale, twist. Let's release the hands down and we'll step it back. Downward facing dog. So walking it out, you might want to give the legs a little shake. Let's bring feet back together. We'll lift the left leg to the sky. So spread the toes, press through the ball of the foot. Exhale, knee to nose. So really lifting that knee as high as you can, round through the upper back. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, knee across to right elbow. So across the body, inhale to lift. And then exhale, step it through between the hands. Crescent lunge. So take the feet hip distance. Just to give you some balance, and then lifting up, reaching high, option to bring that back knee down. Let's take hands to heart center, length through the spine, inhale, exhale, twist to your left. So right elbow comes to left knee. And with your inhale, you're finding that length in your spine. With your exhale, gently twisting. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to twist. Keep pressing down into the feet. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Get really long. Exhale to twist. And then let's release it down. Let's step it back. Downward facing dog. So walking out your dog. Take a child's pose if you need to here. Just finding your breath. So just come back to those slow, deep breaths. And then we're going to hop forward. So gently hopping. You might take one big hop. Might be a couple of little hops. Bring feet together. We're going to lift up to chair. So reaching the arms up. Again, find that length in the spine. So maybe just slightly tucking your tailbone. Let's take hands to heart center. We're going to lengthen again. And then exhale, twist to your right. So left elbow comes to the right knee. We're just going to take 2 breaths here. So lengthen the inhale. Exhale, gently twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to twist. Let's release it down. So take the feet hip distance. Give the legs a little shake. Let the head be heavy. And then let's take hold of the big toes with the first 2 fingers. We're going to bend the knees, lengthen through the spine. Inhale, and with the exhale, folding forward. So feeling into the stretch in the back of the legs, straightening the legs as much as they will. So it doesn't matter if they stay bent, keep them bent. Just feeling into that stretch, gentle stretch. Let your head hang. Slow, deep breaths. Take one more big deep breath here. And then releasing the toes. Let's bring feet back together and lift back up to our chair. So reaching the arms up, pressing the feet into the floor. Let's take hands back to heart center. Lengthen through the spine, inhale. Exhale, twist to your left this time. So right elbow to left knee. Your inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, gently twist. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale to twist. Press into the feet and then release it out. Take the feet hip distance. Give them a little shake if you need to. Let the head hang. Take a big deep breath here, and then let's take the palms underneath the feet. So if you feel like that's going to be too much, take hold of the big toes again. So if you're taking them under, the palms underneath, bring the big toe all the way up to the wrist. So really pressing down the feet into the hands. Bend your knees. So lengthen through the spine as you bend your knees. Inhale. And then exhale to fold. So you're folding, lengthening the legs as much as feels comfortable. Let the head be heavy. And just breathing into the backs of the legs. Feeling into those muscles. It's just a gentle stretch. If you feel like you're overdoing it or it feels painful, come back. So just take a gentle bend in the knees maybe. Take one more big deep breath here. And then releasing out. Give the legs a little shake. And then let's take the feet as wide as the mat. We'll come into a squat. So taking the hips low. You can either keep fingertips on the floor. You might come up onto tiptoes. So finding your version of a squat, it might be that you stay quite high up. It might be that you come really far down. And if you want to, option to take hands to heart center. Have a rock from side to side. So just feeling into the hips. Keep with the breaths, those slow, deep breaths. And then let's take hands to the floor and we'll come into our crow. We'll have a practice of our crow. So bring the feet slightly closer together. Spread the fingers, so you're pressing into the palms, spread the fingers out. And we're going to lift the hips. So lifting the hips up. So pressing into the ball of the foot, lifting high. Then we're going to start to bring the weight forward. So make a little shelf with your backs of the arms. So bend at the elbows and start to bring the weight into the backs of the arms. So you're bringing your knees onto that shelf. So look forward, look to the top of your mat. That's going to stop you rolling forward. And then maybe you lift a toe, maybe both of them lift. So you're really just working on bringing that weight into the arms, feeling that weight pressing down. So don't worry if you're not balancing. You're just working on bringing the weight forward. The arms are taking your weight. So keep looking forward. Maybe a toe lifts the other side. Maybe they both lift. You're really pressing down into the hands. And if you've got your crow and you want to have a go at hopping back, feel free. No, I just saw a shake of the head there. And so you're lifting up as high as you can. So when you're ready to coming out of your crow, let's come to kneeling. And we'll just bring the backs of the hands to the mat. So just stretching the wrists out. Give them a little twizzle. Just releasing them out. And then let's tuck the toes and we're going to slowly come up. So rolling through the spine as you lift back up. Let's reach the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, hands to heart center. And let's come into a tree pose. So taking the right foot to the ankle, to the left ankle. Find yourself a focus point. And when you're ready to, just bringing that foot up either to the shin, maybe giving it a hand up to your thigh. Just gently pressing foot into leg, leg back into foot. So keeping you central, keeping the leg muscles engaged. And then feel into that sensation of lifting from the waist up, grounding from the waist down. So you're really grounding down through your legs, but you're being lifted up out the crown of your head. So your core muscles are strong. And either staying here or take the arms up. And if you feel like you want to have a play, you can start to move your focus point. So start to change, see what happens. So the body keeping your balance, or maybe not. If you feel like it doesn't matter, just gently come back in. You're exploring, maybe playing with the pose. So you might have a play at closing your eyes. See what happens. You might fall out instantly, and that's okay. And then releasing down. When you're ready, let's take it over to the other side. So left foot comes to the right ankle this time. Take a breath, find your focus point. And then when you're ready, foot comes to the shin or up to the thigh. So just gently pressing again. Foot into the leg, leg back into the foot. Hands gently pressed together. Come back to the breath. That sensation of really grounding down through the legs. Your foot is planted into the ground and then lifting from the waist up. Let your shoulders relax down. And then option to take the arms up. And if you want to, have a play, have an explore of moving your focus. See what happens. Notice which muscles switch on. Maybe you close your eyes. It might be that you look up to the sky. Whoa. You might be completely still and that feels good. Let's gently release. And let's reach up again. So reach high. Exhale to fold. Let's swan dive down. So take the arms wide, bend at the knees, coming all the way down. Let's inhale, halfway lift. Find that length in the spine. And then exhale, hands to the floor. Let's step it back. Downward facing dog. So just moving in your down dog. So just rocking the hips, maybe nodding the head. And then let's hop forward. So we're going to take a hop, feet come to the outsides of the hands. And then we're going to sit onto the floor and come into our boat. So find that length in the spine. Take the hands to the backs of the thighs, lift the toes up. So you can release that whenever you need to here. So let the shoulders relax down. See if you can keep that length in your spine. Maybe hands release. And then let's have a play with straightening one leg and then the other. So you might twist as well from side to side. And again, exploring which muscles engage as you move. So if it feels better, you're practicing with staying still, then feel free to stay still, working with your boat. It might be that you start playing with straightening both legs. So just feeling into it, working those core muscles. Keep breathing as you move. And then let's come back to center and we'll release down. So as fast or as slowly as you want to, come all the way down. Again, noticing which muscles are working. Release all the way down onto your back. Take a big deep breath. You might want to exhale out through your mouth. Let it all go. And then let's hug the knees in. Have a rock from side to side. So massage out your back. And then let's take feet flat to the floor. We're going to come into a reclined half pigeon. So taking the right ankle bone to the left thigh, flex the foot, so bring the toes towards the shin. And then just feeling into that, it might be that you gently press the knee away, that right knee away. It might be that you interlace the fingers underneath or behind the left thigh. So start to feel into the stretch in this right hip joint. So the muscles around the hip. So find a version where you're feeding into that stretch. It doesn't want to be too intense, something you can breathe into. Again, a gentle stretch. So you can work with bringing the foot towards you or you can always take the foot back down if you need to. So breathing into it, feeling into it. Relaxing and releasing the muscles as much as you can. So noticing any gripping or holding. Just gently releasing it if you can. And it might not want to. Just feeling into it. So let's take one more deep breath here. And then gently release. So slowly release it out. Take both feet back to the floor. We'll rock the hips. So bring knees from side to side. And then let's take it over to the other side. So right foot comes to the floor, the left ankle bone to the right thigh. So flex the foot. It might be different this side, so you might take a different variation. So it might be enough, being here might be enough, just gently pressing against the thigh, pushing the knee away, or interlace the fingers again, behind that right thigh. And just gently working with it. So it might be that you take a few breaths and then you bring it slightly closer. You might have a play with straightening the leg. So just breathing into it, see how it feels. You can always release it a little bit. You might decide you want to interlace the fingers around the shin, bring it even closer. So don't force anything, just breathing into it, feel into it. Find that place where it's just enough. So come back to the breath, those slow, deep breaths. Adjusting as much as you need to. Take one more big deep breath here. And then release it down. Let's bring both feet back down. Rock the hips, knees side to side. And then let's come into some back bend. So we'll take the feet flat to the floor again. Just check you can touch fingertips on the heels. And when you're ready, lifting up into your bridge. So press down into the feet, lifting the hips up. So you're tucking the tailbone slightly, engage the glutes here, engaging those thigh muscles. And then you might interlace fingers underneath you. So rolling onto the outer edges of the arms. So bring shoulder blades towards each other. And then really press down into the heels, lift up. Find that back bend. Big deep breath. You can always lift the toes if you need to here, support the knees. Big deep breath. And then let's slowly release down. So rolling through the spine as you come back down. Let's rock the knees. And we'll take one more. So if you want to come into, I've forgotten what it's called. You know what I mean. This one. I've totally forgotten what it's called. Or come back, you know what you're doing if you're doing it. Or come back into another bridge. I want to say crab. It's definitely not called crab. So just touching the fingertips on the heels and then lifting up. It will come to me in a minute. So lifting the hips, press the little finger edge into the floor if you're interlacing the fingers. You might bend at the elbows and support your waist here. So just supporting yourself, taking the weight out of the legs a little bit. Stay with the breath. Wheel, that's what it's called. Got it. So keep breathing, whether you're in wheel or a bridge. Slow, deep breaths. And then let's release down. So slowly rolling down. Again, let's rock the knees side to side. And then hugging them in. So have a rock. Give them a squeeze. And let's come into our inversion. So taking the hands back under the hips, palms face down, and then lifting the feet up. And you can stay here if this feels like a good place to be this morning. Stay here or bring your feet up the wall. So bring your hips as close as you can to a wall if you've got one near you. And just let yourself relax here. And that's going to do exactly the same as doing a shoulder stand. So if you want to come to a shoulder stand, or if you're coming to headstand, feel free to come to that. If you're coming to shoulder stand, press down into the hands, take the toes over the head, and then hands come to the lower back. So start to walk your elbows in with your toes over your head, just so the weight's not in your elbows to begin with. And then when you're ready, when you feel your elbows are directly under your hips, start to lift your toes up. So lifting up into your shoulder stand. And then pressing the toes away. Take any leg variations you want to here. And if it feels too much to be lifting the toes, you can always keep the toes over your head. So any leg variations, you might be doing splits, straddle, running, cycling, maybe circling the ankle joints. So come back to your breath, feel that breath coming into the chest. And then let's take the toes back over the head and we'll start to roll down. So you might keep the hips supported, you might take hands to the floor. Slowly coming down. So if you're in your headstand, just take a moment in child's pose. And so once your legs are down, hug in the knees, have another rock side to side. And then let's take one last twist. So take the arms out to shoulder high. And just gently bring the knees over to the right side. So keep the knees as high as you can here. Looking to your left hand. And take a couple of really slow, deep breaths. See if you can allow your body to release down on the exhale. Releasing into that twist. Let's come back to center. Take the knees over to the left. Looking to your right hand. Slow, deep breaths. Allow your body to be heavy. Release into that twist. And then coming back to center, let's hug the knees back in, give them a squeeze. And then release down into your Shavasana. So taking the feet wide as your mat, the hands out beside you, palms facing up. Finding a comfortable place. So it might be that you bend your knees, take your feet wide and let your knees come together. If you've got any discomfort in your lower back. So just finding a comfortable position here where you can completely relax. So let your eyes close. And allow your body to be heavy, to sink into the floor. Sink into the ground. Let's take one last big deep breath. So really fill up. And as you exhale, completely relax, maybe sinking a tiny bit deeper. So let your feet flop out to the sides. And then coming back to a natural breath, so that shallow breath into the chest. And then let's scan through the body, allowing each part of the body to release. So taking the focus down to your toes, the soles of your feet and the tops of your feet completely relax. Your ankles relax. Your shins, calves, knees and the backs of your knees. Feel your thighs relax, the backs of your thighs. and the whole of your pelvis. Feel your legs heavy on the mat. Relax the abdomen, lower back, whole of the rib cage. Feel your upper back relax. Your shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms and wrists. And then allow your hands to completely relax. Your fingers, thumbs, backs of your hands, and your palms. Bring the focus up to the back of your neck. Feel the back of your neck completely relax. Relax your throat, your jaw, and let your tongue relax. Feel all the muscles in your face relax. And bringing the focus to your forehead. Allow your forehead to completely relax, release out. Feel your scalp relax. Feel your brain relax. Your whole body is relaxed. So start to gently wiggle fingers and toes. And let your head rock side to side. And when you're ready to, hugging your knees in. Rolling onto your favourite side. And then coming up to a comfortable seated position, hands to prayer at heart center, eyes closed. Thank you so much for being here this morning, taking thumb knuckles to forehead center.